What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of The Triangle. This is your boy D.
And it's your girl, CJ.
And it's your girl, Fire Tiger.
First of all.
Do you know why I said that?
Why?
Bitch,
what is this?
Because I found out your girl is the Fire Tiger in the Chinese zodiac. Yeah, D with the fire.
Why is D? Why were you ready with matches, D? Did you guys plan this?
Because he's my twin flame. That's why.
Wait. No, wait. Did you guys plan that?
No, we did.
No,
we didn't plan that
did
at all.
not.
No, CJ. Wait for it, CJ. Guess who else is a motherfucking Fire Tiger?
No.
Yes.
No.
And we've been doing this the whole time.
D and you are both fire
tigers.
Tigers. I don't like
We are. I randomly looked it up the other day instead of doing my work at work because I'm that person. I was like, oh my God. I'm a fire tiger. My son's a fire pig. Fun fact. Our organs associated with the fire element are our hearts and small intestine. We're the yang and the yin and yang thing. I looked up all type of shit, D. So I'm going to send it to you because it's bomb. And then when I was reading this stuff about it, I was like, you know how I get reading stuff. And I'm like, this shit ain't me. And then I was reading some stuff and I was like, this shit is me. So you'll see something and you're like, they talk about our magnetic personality and people are attracted to us like bees to honey bees. Okay. So yeah, I thought that was like really cool. So I'm Brandy, aka the Fire Tiger.
Oh my God. I'm just really like in shock right now because D really had that match ready to go. Like I didn't even understand what happened.
If you didn't see that on YouTube, look that shit up because that was so on.
How is that even possible? What is wrong with y'all? Are you sure y'all didn't plan this without me?
What CJ thought was that the years apart we would grow weak, but that made us stronger. We came back stronger for that.
Oh my God, you guys can't make me laugh too much. My throat hurts. I'm gonna be coughing up a storm and shit. I'm sipping on my little spice tea and stuff.
On her sister.
Anywho, now that I'm disturbed good and well, welcome to our Clapback episode where we are going to talk about family distress and, well, good times too during holidays, Thanksgiving to be sure, for this particular episode. But I know I posted some stuff. I got a couple of stories. I have a couple of my own. I'm sure you guys have some. D said he had a really good one. He was like, ready to go. So
ready to go. So I want to hear it, actually. D.
I do.
I don't think this one's holiday related, though. I think this is just a fucked up family situation. I think, to me, it was funny.
It was funny to you. To other people, it'd be fucked up. And I know, Brandon, you said you had some stuff you wanted to read. Do you want to start with the fun facts first, or what do we want to do?
Oh, no. The fun facts I had was about me being a motherfucking fire tiger.
Oh, shit.
This had nothing to do with the actual episode.
Wonderful.
I had a list of things that pertain to me in this time.
Well,
no, I don't have a list of that.
If you are new to the Triangle, just so you guys know, we are super random, as you can tell. I was like, she got like fun facts about Thanksgiving. No, we'll do that next week, I think.
No, that's for actually Thanksgiving week.
All right, well then, D, this family story that you got. We're gonna start with that. I feel like that'll be a good starting point for discussions and shit.
This is a good starting point. So I'm gonna tell you why family functions are fucked up in my family is because the foundation is fucked up. Okay. So no matter what's going on, it's always going to be some bullshit. And here's just one example. This is one fucking example. So I have an uncle. We're going to call him K.
Okay.
Right? So I have Uncle K, who's married to my aunt. We're going to call her C. Okay. Right? K and C. Right? Okay. Couple. Been together forever. Long ass time. They both, of course, go to the same church.
Of course.
Uncle K thinks it's a great idea.
Yeah.
Awesome idea. To not only have an affair with the pastor's wife. Yeah, not only that, but to just steal her altogether. Steal her. Pretty much just stole her and like bounced. He just disappeared.
Wait, so he like they fucking like went off into the sunset?
They ran off together into the sunset.
What is this? A fucking Tyler Perry movie? What is this?
Right, but they end up coming back in town. They end up coming back in town.
For together. What? For why?
I don't fucking know. I don't know.
For why?
This shit is fucking crazy. So, but it's crazy because I had known the pastor's wife. We're gonna call her First Lady. So I know First Lady before, because First Lady used to do. She had a business, I guess, like her side hustle was flipping cars. That's what she did.
Okay, First Lady.
And
now she flipping niggas.
Oh.
Now she flipping niggas. No,
now she flipping niggas.
I'm done. No, I'm so done.
Uncle K is a mechanic. He used to work on cars. So I guess that's where their relationship kind of started.
Oh.
She was, flipping cars. He was a mechanic, so it worked out well. Whoa.
I'm sorry. D's phone just fell the fuck off. Okay, I thought he was about to crash. Oh, okay. Sorry.
I'm good. Sorry.
You good?
Gotta readjust.
Oh my God.
So yeah, that's where their relationship started.
Oh man, maybe that was like God telling us not to talk about folks.
Yeah. Okay, because I'm like, look, God was like, I'm not fucking with y'all tonight.
I mean, you did say it was the pastor's wife and First Lady.
It really was. So. It was the pastor's wife. Yeah.
So like, are they still together? Your uncle?
So he decided that he wanted to go back to his wife. I guess he had his fun.
Oh.
And to make matters worse, he took her to the family reunion in Arkansas.
The First Lady?
The First Lady, but he's still married to Aunt C. And everybody knows Aunt C because they've been married for like 1,000 fucking years. So they go there, they're at the family reunion, post pictures. So it tore the family apart because you have half of the family is, of course, going to be on Aunt C's side.
Right.
Even though we're not blood related to her, she's always been there. She's already there. She might as well be.
I mean, she is family at that point. Like,
yes, of course. She's been there our whole life.
Oh my God.
So you have that going on, and then you have the other side that's like, oh, that's our uncle, or that's my dad, or that's whoever. I support him. So it split everything in half. And then it split stuff up because everybody who's at the family reunion is mad because they were there and tolerated it. So people are mad at the people that were there. People were mad, oh, you should have, stood up and said something. It was just a big ass mess.
That's so crazy.
So the pastor ends up finding out, of course, of everything that's going on. So Aunt C is the queen of petty. She's the queen. So she keeps going to church. She shows up to church, I guess, once First Lady comes back. Decides to get reconcile things with her husband. She keeps coming to church. Aunt C is known around town for being very crazy.
I really think this is the time we need to stop. Yes,
screen just went blank.
I just got a phone call from
okay.
No.
Gotcha.
But yeah, Aunt C is known for being very crazy. So it was like people were talking about shooting people at the church. It was just a bad situation. Really
bad. So okay, so did Uncle K and Aunt C just stay together?
They're back together.
They're back together?
Yeah.
She a better bitch than me. I'll be fucking damned.
Are they a lot older? Like, are they like?
They are. They're like in their mid-50s.
Does he have 90? That's not a lot older.
That's not a lot older.
It's a lot older considering they've been together for a long time. They've been together since they were in high school.
Again,
actually middle school.
That's crazy because a woman could never. I wish I would. And then to have my old husband waiting for me while I'm running off with the new husband.
Men can't be number two. Not never. Side niggas can't even be number two. They just don't know that they side niggas. Like, let's be real.
Right.
I'm talking to Aunt C about this whole situation, and she's like, this isn't the first time he's done something like this. I was like, what? So I guess he's done stuff like this in the past, and she's like, I'm going to do my job. I'm going to stand by my man. So she's very old school in her approach.
Extremely old school. I'm like, does she take care of herself? Not trying to be on all your family's business, but we about to
No, she does. She really does.
Okay.
She's been working her ass off her whole life. She supports herself, her kids.
What is she with him for?
That old school mentality, that toxic
old school mentality.
That's toxic as hell.
Some of that stuff is really toxic. I'm down with some old school stuff. I'm like more than what I look like. I am a traditionalist to an extent, but not when it comes to your well-being. You know what I mean? Mentally, physically, health-wise, all of that. Like, that's so crazy.
Your peace of mind is important, and sometimes you don't realize you're losing your fucking mind. until you snap.
Man.
And then, like, you know, all the kids are in the river in the family van, and you trying to figure out what happened. You let John drive your ass crazy.
Auntie C about to be on snapped. Fucking, this is not his first.
I thought that was gonna happen, because if anybody's gonna snap, it's gonna be her.
Listen,
it's gonna be her, because she snaps.
Go ahead.
So I was just gonna tell you how she snapped. So I'm gonna bring you to another family function.
Oh my god!
This was just to get together. I can't remember the occasion. But my dad was there. And you guys don't know my biological father. He was never in Okie with us, but he was always here in Vegas.
Right.
But he snaps too. Everybody here snaps. Everybody's a snapper.
Not that last, I was saying everybody snaps.
Because I'm thinking about just different scenarios where people snap. I've snapped a few times. But
yeah, I was like, I heard your snap stories.
Yeah, I was gonna say you do that too, D.
Yes. Hereditary.
But it was this one particular family function. My cousin was over, and he had a friend of his over, and I guess my dad felt the friend was being disrespectful, and I guess some words were exchanged between them. Long story short, my dad ends up pistol whipping my cousin.
Oh.
Yeah, pistol whipping in the face. So this cousin that he pistol whipped is the son of Aunt C.
Oh Lord, I already know where this is
going.
going.
The house with a power drill and bludgeons my dad on the top of the head with a power drill. That's the shit I'm talking about.
Okay, how about I make this pact with you? I am not going to your family reunion. Never. Don't invite me. Don't bother.
I will never invite you. I don't even go. I don't go.
Hell no.
I'll FaceTime. I'll say hi. I'll send letters.
Okay, so keeping this in the spirit of the holiday season, what do you do for Thanksgiving, D? Like, do you go around them?
I go around certain ones. Because here's the deal. When you go around them individually, they're very tolerable. But when you get them all together in a group, all the bullshit comes out.
Oh.
So I'll do Thanksgiving with like either just my immediate family that you guys know, since they're not here, or if I can't make it due to my work, I will go to like a family member's house. I'll go to an aunt's house or an uncle's house, or you have to break it up individually, because bring everybody together collectively, is bound to be some bullshit. Sometimes you'd be surprised they can actually get along, but
just depends.
Majority of the time,
but 90% of the time, it's bullshit. Is your family like that, CJ?
Hell
like you get everybody together and everybody's fucking crazy?
Well, you know what? Like my dad's side is hard to tell. I've been to a couple of like our family reunions on the Louisiana side, and they're pretty chill. They're like what you would call the country ghetto-ish sometimes.
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
And some of them are real just country. Some of them are a little bit ghetto, and some of them are in between. And then I got like family in California that's not like that. They're just like Cali folks. You know what I mean by that? No hate at all. I love y'all.
Start laughing. What was that?
But like since I grew up in Okie, most of the time it was like my Okie fam. I would say when I was younger, like it wasn't much of an issue, but as I got older, I realized how fucked up some of my aunts that married into like our Okie side was, especially because in Okie and a lot of parts of Asia still like that hierarchy within the family, because the firstborn son, secondborn son, firstborn whoever, all of that. So like my firstborn uncle and his wife were always like given certain, I guess, privileges and things in the family. They were like treated differently slightly. So even though that aunt was a bitch, and I can say that out loud because she was crazy, because what they did was basically steal the deed to my grandmother's house where everybody done grew up at, like Big Mama's house, right?
Damn.
Took the deed, sold it to buy a house for her own firstborn son's family. So she has
that's an ass whooping.
And this was like after my uncle passed away, so she went ahead and took that and did it for her son. And she got 3 sons, and the middle one don't like his mama because of shit like that. The youngest one ain't so bright, so he just do whatever mama says, and the oldest one's the same way, just mama's whatever, you know what I mean? And nothing wrong with like mama's boys or anything in a good way. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, like, watch it.
No, because my brother's definitely like that, but I mean that in like he takes care of my mom. He like, you know, they spend time together and things like that. Same thing like I do too. But I think
he's just not gonna agree with any old fuckery from your mom though.
Yeah, but like who I'm talking about, my little cousins, they ain't shit. So like I actually heard my brother cuss him out on the phone in Japanese. I done forgot how good Dan was at that. Like I was like, shit, nigga, I forgot you could do all that. I mean, he went off. Popped off. But you know, like, so like with our family, because it wasn't Thanksgiving, it was like New Year's, you know, because we're Asian on that side. The parties were pretty like mellow. Nothing crazy happened. It was like the internal workings, and when shit did blow up, they usually left the kids out and try to have like grown-up conversations where the grown-ups would gather. It was kind of like the grown-ups of the village gathering, old school Asian style. And so that was kind of nice that they kept the kids out. I think that's really important now that I'm thinking about it. Like if you guys do have like tiffs or whatever beef with family members and you need to squash it, don't do it on Thanksgiving or Christmas. Like pick a time and date where all the grown-ups can gather and talk it out and smash it out. You know what I'm saying?
That's too fucking mature, CJ.
I'm sorry.
Wish.
Right. I'm just saying, I mean, obviously it doesn't work out that way all the time, but like, and so like, as for my American side, like in the past, like, I don't think I've had any issues, family wise. Also, I just like, if I feel like it's not worth my time, I don't say shit. You guys ever heard that quote by Jay-Z where he's like, a lot of people think that I'm just like stuck up and don't talk to people. I just don't like wasting my breath on stupid conversations. Like, it's like, that's how I feel. Unless I have to like, unless it's like really bothersome, but I really cannot be bothered.
I can't relate.
No, she didn't. BTW, if you're not watching this on YouTube, is Brandy is straight up painting her nails and I love it. I just want you to
I don't like not having them painted when I'm working at the lounge. So I'm like,
oh, okay. Gotcha.
You know what I mean? I try to have my nails, I try to be on point for that job at the weekend because I've noticed the more on point I am, the better these tips are, honey.
Of course.
So I'm like, let me get
but like,
but I mean, I get that, but I'm also like, I feel like because I'm a fire tiger, I definitely feel like I have to let motherfuckers know what it is and what it ain't.
Right.
And granted, I've had to grow and I'm still growing to learn when the right time for that is. But I feel like a lot of family crazy shit keeps going because there ain't nobody checking no fucking body.
Well, that's the problem, I think, is that who checks who in that occasion, right?
Me, nigga. That's what I'm here for. I've literally been used in our family.
But see, that's the thing. But is it always the same person? Because like in my Okie side family, I feel like that was my mom when she was on the island. Like she was so much more stress-free since she's moved to the States because she doesn't have to deal with family fucking issues. Like, no joke.
I believe there's always like one or two people in the family that can probably get along and talk to everybody. And then it's like this division. And I've realized, especially after, I ain't gonna get too much into it, but
that felt like hot tea. That felt like hot tea.
Hot, and it's gonna be real good now that I got my nails all painted and wet. There is steaming hot tea after my mom's wedding. So.
Oh, this is recent.
Girl. So my mom and my bonus dad and my dad have known each other like all off and on since I guess like the 80s or whatever.
Oh shit. So
he had a thing for her a long time ago, but ain't nothing ever popped off.
Okay.
And then stuff finally popped off after my dad and my mom split. So my dad stays with the same girl since like 2005. And my mom's dating him like off and on throughout the years.
Oh, at least it was respectful. He didn't pop off before it shit.
No. Yeah, he was very much like, hey, this is what I want. And, you know, they did what they had to do and worked it out or whatever. Now, we're in a weird situation now because my mom decided not to tell my dad she was engaged or getting married. Now, half of me felt like, all right, you really don't owe him. It's not like you need permission. But the other half is like, unless it's just to be messy, why would you not say anything?
Well,
so I'm like, okay, well, you know, before you say something, CJ, I know you be ready.
I'm gonna just mentally.
Yeah, take notes, CJ. You won't be able to get into this because you got to hear everything. So anyway, I was like, okay, I feel away because I'm stopping through there to go to St. Louis to go to this wedding. And I always stop at my dad's house first. And I'm like, I'm basically going to have to lie to him while I'm coming out of nowhere in October. And I don't feel comfortable with that shit. So I'm like, you don't have to tell Dad. Why don't you let me tell him, or Bradley tell him? He ain't even got to know who he's married to. Now, adding layers onto this, these niggas live in the same neighborhood in Indiana. They work in the same fucking federal building, like same office. So he was gonna hear this shit regardless. So keep that.
Wait, so your dad and bonus dad? Okay, I just want to make sure. Dad.
The times my mom, bonus dad, the times my mom has visited him when she goes to Indiana, she's seen my dad in the office. They all work together.
Oh my goodness.
So saying that to say he was going to find out anyway. So when you decide to make the decision, like I'm the type of person, if I know it's messy tea, I would rather tell you than somebody else tell you, because I don't know how they're going to say it. They may say some shit that ain't true. I'd rather you hear it from me, even if it's fucked up. For some reason, it ain't go down like that. So fast forward, my dad finds out because people at work are kind of like picking at him about it or making their comments or whatever, right? His ego is already out of control. He's already very much so in Aries, as much as I don't,
he's an Aries?
get down with, a Marine Aries. Like how much more of God can you get? That nigga probably a fire dragon.
I know.
He's a fire dragon roll.
just roaring.
But anyway, so there's levels to this, right? So he's pissed. And like, wow, I demand loyalty and respect. I thought we were all better than this. I'm disappointed. I'm hurt. So I'm thinking, okay, I got to deal with this shit because my mom's not seeing the big deal. And I was like, I understand that at the end of the day, he's like nothing to you, but that's still our dad. We still have a relationship with him. So this shit is affecting that. So now I'm annoyed with both of you people because I feel like you handled this shit messy. I feel like this nigga's overreacting. And I am pissed at both y'all right now because it's causing a lot of extra drama with the intermediate people in the family. Right. So anyway, and so then I get a text from my dad last week and he was like, well, me and so-and-so are splitting. I plan on leaving the country. When I die, everything's going to be in your name. And like just this text message. And I'm just like, what the fuck is going on? And I'm like, hey, let's just make sure you're not making a rash decision because like you and her been together since 2005, 6. And I know me, I'll be fucking damned if after all that time we just split within a couple of days, because all this is happening in the last like 2 weeks.
I'll be damned.
Yeah, he's literally helping her move all his shit, and she's going back to Iowa at like Thursday. And I'm like, what the fuck? So then I was like, wait a minute. You have to still be in love with mom, because ain't no way you're talking about, it's one thing when you say, well, me and my lady leaving the state because you don't want to be around your ex-wife. I get it. I don't ever want to live in the same state as my ex-husband. I love that we're states away. But for you to be like, not only am I leaving the state, want to leave the country, just want to be all by yourself. You leaving the woman that's been there for you when you've had your mom die, when you've been sick, when her family members have been sick, all this shit that you build for that amount of time, over a decade, and y'all both are just willing to be like, all right, you know what I mean? Now I can understand from her standpoint, because let me find out you and your feelings this much because your ex-wife got married. We don't need to be together because you clearly still feel away.
Right.
And so I can understand that from her perspective. But him,
absolutely.
Like, what the fuck are you doing, Dad?
Well,
like, what are you really doing?
Yeah.
So now Thanksgiving's coming up and we were supposed to
What are y'all doing? What are y'all doing?
Girl, PJ was like, I just really wanted just to be us. And I'm like, same.
PJ was like, I want no parts of this.
PJ the most grown in this whole conversation.
Exactly. Listen, PJ is definitely the old grown man in this conversation.
That's so funny.
Like,
with that suit, did he have that suit on when he said that?
With that stand. Oh my God.
with that stance. I
take care of my kids looking ass.
I take care of my kids. I drove everybody here face ass.
Right.
Oh my God. Can we steal that and meme him? Can we meme him?
You can meme him.
Okay,
you totally
cool.
meme him.
I got permission from Mom.
Yeah. It's been a lot. So all of that going down, and with the holidays coming up, I'm like, oh, woo child, the division. Because I told both my parents, and anybody listening, especially if you're going through a split right now or divorce or anything where you're going to have to co-parent.
Yeah.
You got to be conscious about this shit. Consciously, subconsciously, don't make your kids feel like they got to choose between the two of you ever.
Yeah.
Because I've had to tell both my parents at 33 fucking years old, y'all still doing this shit. Mm-hmm. And my mom's like, well, I never said that you ain't had to say it, nigga.
You didn't have to say it.
You made it obvious.
Made us feel like it's one or the other. You on my side or the other. Because she's pissed at us even for having compassion and understanding where my dad is coming from. She's pissed at that. And I'm just like, girl, you the one that came out on top. Not only did you obliterate his relationship, but you y'all both get to ride out into the sunset. So you came out on top.
So his lady really like just up and left?
She's leaving Thursday, nigga.
Damn.
He was talking to my brother on the phone, and my brother said that he was like, hey, we got to talk later because I'm helping her pack her stuff. I was like, what?
Wow.
And I'm bugging because I had a relationship with her. I got to know her because I was never going to treat her like, oh, you were just some women that my dad got with.
Right. Well, if she was around that long.
Yeah, I wasn't going to, and then I'm not going to come to your house that I know you live at too and you pay bills at too and act like I don't fucking know you.
Right.
So we've developed a relationship. My son developed a relationship with you. Anybody that's known you, at least from our side, you've just been nothing but nice and accommodating and respectful. So
I wish I had that shit when it came to that with me.
Oh,
my step relationships. Fuck. Go ahead. Sorry.
Damn, D just felt some type of way in that moment.
Shit, I was like, your shit just so damn graceful.
I mean,
yeah. She was very, very like nice. Like all parties I thought were handling stuff well, but this situation let me know shit ain't what I thought it was with how anybody was handling stuff.
You know what? That's like the truth in all the things is that even though you know somebody for years and decades and years and decades, you don't really know somebody because the person that they are like in front of you is not the same person they are in front of somebody else, like your mom, his wife, whatever. Like, and then, it's completely different.
Even these conversations, because something like what's been happening the last 2 days, and I was like talking to God about it because I'm like, I need you to help me understand why I'm the middle person and then how to navigate this.
Okay.
Because I've had several people in the family kind of like hit me up about different things. It's almost like I'll get a call about somebody complaining about one person and then I'll get a call from that person they were complaining about, complaining about them. But then what makes that weird is I don't really talk to either party like that.
Well, there's no coincidences. Just remember
you know what I mean? So I was like, okay, this is happening like more frequently than what it would before. And I know I'm one of the few people in the family because I'm not that close to anybody. It's easy to talk to me about shit.
Right.
I literally had one of the members of the family yesterday tell me, I'm telling you this because I know you're not going to tell so-and-so. Yeah, I'm not going to.
It's like a therapist because you don't know anybody.
I don't want to be a messy bitch. So you're right. I'm not going to tell them, but I'm also a person that's like, look, just tell the person directly or don't fuck with them at all. And I don't know about y'all family dynamics, and y'all can expound more on this because I've been talking a minute, but like, I'm the type of person where I've told some family members, I will cut you off and sleep well the same night. And not because I don't love you, not because there's no respect. It's just I love me more. I prefer to protect my peace. And I think it's very toxic to be like, oh, well, that's your mom and that's your brother, but that's your blood. I don't give a fuck.
You know what? I just wrote that down, the whole like toxic family acceptance things. Just because it's your blood don't mean you have to let what they do go. And you know what? That actually comes back around to, I think, why people can't squash family beef. Because they want you to keep accepting your dad or your cousin or your mom, your brother, sister, whoever's that's treating you badly, emotionally or physically. They're like, oh, but it's your mom. You should keep doing it. So every year when holidays come around, you have to spend time with the mom that is so toxic to you, but the rest of the family is like, but that's your mom. Like, you can't do that. That shit is not okay.
And then they want you to feel how they feel about the person. So I'm like, I can't feel about mom how you feel about her. No. I can't feel about dad how you feel. I am a daughter. Right. I am not his ex-wife. I'm not your ex-husband. I am the product of you two people.
You better say that again.
It's going to be different how I flow and operate. And I prefer most of the time to see both sides of a story and handle it from there. But what I don't allow, and what hasn't never happened from my dad's side, I can say, he never said nothing crazy to me about my mom.
Right.
He never dogged her out. No shit. Uh-huh. Mom's been a different story. And as I've gotten older and mended the relationship with my father and got back in daddy girl status.
Right.
It's like, I can't sit on the phone with anybody. Right. I can't sit on the phone with anybody or in person and have you dog my dad. And I don't give a fuck what he did 30 years ago. Like, I'm not going to take the disrespect. You deal and heal with that old shit. But that's not on me.
Right. That's a different, like, people, I don't think people realize, and I think I've had this conversation with my brother too, like, people are like, oh, nobody changes overnight. No, they don't change overnight, but people do change over time. So if your beef is with them from 15 years ago because they said or did something to you 15 years ago, and if you still think that person is the same person and you haven't given him the chance, her the chance to fix it, then you're actually that person. And
CJ, what is your Cash App so I can send you this tithes and offering? Because you preaching.
10%.
You preaching.
No,
I'm
that's
just saying. You know, and you know that shit run deep when they talk about generational issues passing down. Because why the fuck were your daughters and your nieces your fucking bridesmaids when you got like 10 sisters? We're bridesmaids at your wedding because you and your sisters have fucking old beef.
Oh, yeah.
That's not even logical. Like me and my sister work. I feel like. Well, not like tooth and nail hard on our relationship, but I know we both work. And it has not been easy because of a lot of different shit. But I'm like, I would not get married and not have you there in that way. Well, now, even if you're not the maid of honor, you still, you know what I mean? Because we actually have a relationship that we're working on. But it's like for the 5 of y'all.
And then, I do not understand. Not on any of them were there? Not one?
No, they were there. They weren't in.
But they weren't in the wedding.
The one that she's closest to helped her plan it. And so she got to like run it and plan it there because she was in St. Louis. So it made sense for her to do the groundwork.
Well, I guess it just depends too on, well, because your situation with your mom is a family tiff thing. And like, because I was thinking about my wedding and I was like, I'm not adding any of my siblings into my wedding party. Well, my brother is walking me down the aisle because
my dad. He's walking
me
down too.
You know, oh, girl. First of all, I'm gonna make him listen to all of these. You know what? I'm gonna make a clip of you talking about my brother.
Oh my god!
Make
just
a whole
like
ass
a compilation.
Just her just saying shit about Dan the whole time. Oh my god!
Stupid ass comment. And then look, when he up here talking about the finance, guess who's gonna be quiet as shit?
Brandy, she called me up.
I ain't gonna say nothing.
My god, but no, like you know, like mine are gonna be mostly friends. Like actually, they are all friends. I don't have a family member at my wedding party. Neither does Rob. Like.
But I don't feel like there's difference though when
there's no tiff or anything. It's just that
when you have decades old beef and we know it's beef like that, and it's just sad, and then that adds on the extra stress around the holidays.
So this is my thing though. When it comes to that old ass beef, address your issues. Right. Address your issue when it needs to be addressed because it's spilling over the kids, it's spilling over the nieces and nephews unnecessarily. All that shit has got to stop. Address your issue at the moment, and it keeps it from boiling over, and you can squash it at that point. Right. Make the determination on whether you want to keep fucking with this person or not. All that extra bullshit, all it does is stress yourself out and everybody else. Ain't nobody got time for that
part about you saying, and I'm trying to eat. But no, for real, when it boils over, like you said, to like the children, I don't think it's fair to them that they have to carry that sentiment with them for the next few decades too. Like, oh, and but Uncle so-and-so did this.
Yeah, like, they're just trying to ride with their parents. So it's like, I've seen it with my nieces. And I'm like, why you got an attitude with so-and-so? Oh, because she messy and blah, blah. And I'm thinking, that sounds like grown talk you heard. That's not a relationship you have. you overheard some extra grown shit.
Yeah.
And now you developed feeling a way about a member that you really haven't had a direct relationship with.
Right.
Y'all didn't grow up around these people. You ain't even around them enough to really cultivate something like that. So some kids, they just like immediately ride or die. I'm big on telling my kid, you don't adopt any feelings that I have towards somebody. You figure it out for yourself. Case in point with his father. I'm like, to me, your daddy cannot be shit all day long. That don't mean he's got to be that for you. And I've never said that to him, because I've still never said anything bad about his father.
I agree with that, because I'm like, on the opposite spectrum.
I'm like, you have your relationship with him and any other family member. It is not for me to dictate how you should handle that, unless I know somebody's real fucked up, then I'm be like, stay away from so and so.
Right. Yeah, that's different.
When it ain't like that, it's like, nah, you do that because you don't need to carry my shit. That's still your aunt. It don't matter how many times me and my sister fight. That's still your aunt.
Right. You gotta figure that out on your own, and it's so important, because I'm coming into a place where Rob already had a kid, so I'm that other person coming in, which is like really weird and crazy too, and like she may have overheard some crazy shit, like not intentionally on my part, but because kids like to eavesdrop here and there. But other than that, like, I would never, ever talk down about her mom in any way in front of her. You just can't. Like, that's not fair to the child. It ain't got nothing to do with her. Those conversations are adult conversations. It's court conversations. It's things like that, that they don't need to be a part of. Like, all they need to know is whether their mom, dad, whoever is going to show up for them when they need them. Like, they're going to come and pick them up when they need to be picked up or whatever, and spend the time that they said that they're going to spend time with them. And I think eventually, if they don't do that, the kids can make their own decision about whoever that other person is. Like, there's no need to, like, God gonna come through later and let them know what's up. You know what I mean? So like, they'll eventually, the kids are not stupid. That's why they pick up on nuances, and they pick up on these conversations, whether it's like you said, oh, so-and-so and messy. They're listening. They hear everything, they see everything, and they're just going to keep picking it up. So they'll make their own decisions later. They'll know. Yeah, and if you were the one who was fucked up and said all those nasty things about the other person, the kid's going to know about that too.
When it comes time for them to make up, exactly. They're going to know that your ass is fucking crazy.
Yeah, just like Brandy said, like, all those things about your dad.
Like, what the fuck?
Like, oh, like, mom was crazy. What she said was not always true. Like, she just was mad.
And when they spin that story, I really did, because me and my sister had a long conversation about this when we were all coming back from St. Louis. And it was like, it was really the narrative, and I'm not saying she did this on purpose, but it was very much so, I've just been this doting great wife, and he's just been lying and cheating and just being awful. And then it comes to find out y'all both been fucking around on each other off and on for however long, whatever, because there's always your story, his story, then the truth, and then the wild card of what my sister got to experience for 10 years before I even came in the picture.
Right.
Yeah.
So there's like so many levels to this shit, and then it helped me understand why she's like she is, because I like to at least understand, okay, where is this all coming from, so I can have a bit more understanding and compassion for you,
right?
Rather than just being like, you're fucking crazy. Does not mean whatever you do or say is cool, but I navigate around people a lot better when I can understand the why, the root cause. And
of course.
Like, okay, yeah. Now I can ease up a little bit, because I'll be wanting to attack folks, because I'm a fire tiger. No. And it helps knowing, okay, this is how you grew up. This was like your birth order. This is what happened with your dad dying and with your mom not paying attention to you and whatever was going on. But girl, yeah, the holiday season is stressful, and people still have that old ass beef that they don't want to get rid of. And then, I hate those fake mature people that always act like they're above it all. But it's like you're in the middle of it all the goddamn time.
All the fucking time.
They're probably the
always
worst.
Going to be up in the mix.
Sit
the fuck down.
Stay in the mix. Like they're making a fucking cake
down.
in the damn
that
mix.
Shit in the mix. All up in it. My
in the mix. In it, like that Usher movie. In the mix.
I'm done. I'm so through. I'm so through. But no, it is really crazy. I think, so I guess like we're all probably going to agree that this beef shit should be called out when it happens.
Amen.
With the person that not face to face, not over text and shit, because intonation and nuance is very important when you're arguing.
Not through other people too.
Yes, that too. And then maybe leave the kids out of it. Pick a fucking day if you have to. Because the kids have nothing to do with it. Just because you're mad at somebody doesn't mean, I mean, unless that's a dangerous person, like they are abusive physically or something like that.
Oh, I'm ready for this.
Fuck it, look at D's face. D was, he said, he reached out through the camera, was like, I got a story. Nigga, go ahead,
leaving
nigga.
The kids out of it. My 7th birthday party. Was here. So I didn't grow. So I'm from Vegas. I was born in Vegas.
Right.
I never really grew up here. I always was with my mom, either in California, Florida, or Okie.
Okay.
So I was only here on holidays. So in California, I went to year-round school. So you didn't really have a set vacation time like summer.
Yeah, I remember.
It was split up in between, like, it was kind of like 6 weeks on, 3 weeks off type of deal. I forgot how it worked, but it was something.
My nieces did that. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's like, I was here. It happened to, one of the vacations fell on my birthday, which is in May.
Right.
So I was here with my dad's family, and they decided to throw me a birthday party.
Oh.
Now, and this is crazy because it's still Uncle K and Aunt C.
Oh, so God.
Uncle K,
These niggas
Uncle K is like Prince. He could play any fucking instrument.
Oh.
Like, if you show him an instrument, he could, like, fuck with it for a few hours. He'll figure out how to play it. He'll figure out how to play Purple Rain on that motherfucker. He's very talented.
Whoa.
So he has a whole collection of instruments in his house all the time. Instruments, and then also like power drills and shit, because he's a fucking mechanic. So he has like all kinds of stuff, gadgets.
Right.
So they got into an argument. I'm not sure what it was about, but they fought. And it got escalated because there was alcohol involved. Because, of course, at Black kids' birthday parties, there's always alcohol because adults want to have fun.
I mean, I drink at my kids' birthday parties.
See? Nigga. So it escalated, and they started fighting, and she threw his instruments into the front yard. Mind you, it's Vegas, so the front yard really wasn't maintained, so it's mostly dirt. Because, you know, grass has a hard time growing here because it's so damn hot and dry.
Right.
So I remember seeing a guitar, I saw a bass, and some other stuff out front. And I'm in the garage, because that's when my party was, in the garage. Kids in my neighborhood had their parties. So I remember seeing that specifically. I remember hearing everybody scream and everybody telling me to get in the house. Because they're scrapping. At this point, they're like scrapping. So I'm trying to run into the house. And I just glance over, and I see Aunt C is face down in the front yard. Uncle K is straddling her on her back. So she's like, he's on her back. She's face down in the dirt. And he has a spoon in his hand. And she went to yell his name. And every time she went to yell his name, he would scoop dirt in her mouth.
Oh, my God.
He was spooning dirt in her mouth, making her eat dirt. I was fucking traumatized. That
of course,
my
you're
world
7.
Yeah, my 7th birthday party. I was 6 the day before, so yeah. I was the tiny.
6 the day before.
Is this what 7 is like?
Bro, dude, that is, I mean,
traumatic.
So, you know what?
You made her eat dirt on my birthday.
I know, so.
It was plenty of cake. What the fuck? Dirt? I was so confused. I didn't want to talk to him. I was so mad.
I was so mad.
Oh my God. Side note, do you guys remember the dirt cakes that our white teachers used to make in school? Remember that?
No. What the fuck that was abuse.
No, not like real dirt. Like they're made out of Oreo cookies, but they put like gummy worms in it, and they.
I know what you're talking about.
Remember those?
Okay,
I don't know why that. Okay. You were talking about cakes, and you were talking about eating dirt.
I was never into that shit because I was like, I'm not gonna pretend to eat fucking dirt and grass.
But so I have known a few different couples that are like absolutely toxic for each other, and they stay together because they are dependent on each other's toxicity.
Codependency. It's lovely.
Yeah, that's what it is. They're toxic to the point where, like, I think it's some type of mental stimulation that they get out of being toxic with each other.
It has to be.
Because I think their high is super high and their low is super low, and there's no super in between. Yeah. And so it's some kind of emotion for them. So they just kind of stay either high or super low. You know what I mean? And more than likely super low if they're that toxic, though. Like,
oh, it's almost always super low. Because yeah,
that's so crazy. Fucking dirt, though.
Dirt.
And why did he have a spoon ready to go? I don't
know. I don't fucking know. He pulled out his back pocket. He probably plays the fucking spoons. He's fucking talented. So he probably was playing a song in the garage.
No.
He said he's fucking talented. That's why he has a spoon.
Flapping
I like
knee spoons and shit. Is that what you're saying? I can't.
he was tearing it up in the garage.
He even pull out a banjo along with it. What the fuck?
Hey, I'm sure he knows how to play it.
I bet he do. He just need a fiddle with it. See what I did there?
There you go. He can play the jug too. He can blow in the jug. No,
no.
Not blow the jug.
Yeah. It makes that sound. I love doing it. I still do it. Like, I still do it.
I honestly love it.
Little kids are always amazed when you do shit like that. You're like, I want to try. And they're just like on the bottle, like.
Yeah, and then they just like spit all on it. It's like, you're fucking useless. Get out of here.
Fucking terrible.
Get out of here.
No, I mean, so I guess like if you guys have beef with the fam, like probably like, I don't know why it's so much easier to get it out of like context and out of proportion when it's the holidays. I don't know if it's because
there's a lot of emotion involved with holidays.
Maybe
it's people coming together, people traveling. It's high stress.
It is high stress. You're right. People are broke. People do travel. And they're
people
annoyed.
Are spending money, traveling, buying food, buying gifts. It's a lot of stress involved with it, and a lot of emotion. And then at the same time, people are feeling some type of way from family members that aren't here anymore. That they miss from the holidays.
That's true.
It's all of those emotions mixed up in one, and then you see somebody who you got beef with, and you're just ready to pop off.
Ready to go. Ready to go.
The true definition of on site.
Not on site. I'm done. Okay, I have a funny for you guys about these family gatherings that aren't beef. It might be about eating beef, but what do you guys do if you get to one of these gatherings and the food is terrible? What do you do? Do you pretend to eat it?
No, I don't. I'll tell you what I do.
Uh-huh.
I typically know one or two people that I always can be super messy with at any function.
Oh, so where you like scoop your potato salad and go over and be like, look at this shit.
So listen, I'll be right up to my brother-in-law, and we are so in sync with it. I will just look at him, and he goes, "Brandy."
I love that. I love stuff like that.
He'd be like, "Brandy, don't start," and I say, "I'm not doing nothing." Anytime we're together, even when my mom walked past us at the wedding, and she was like, "Don't you niggas start," and I was like.
What? We were just talking about the green beans. What?
No, she knew. So yeah, I get right to the person, and I'll have a plate, and I'll be like, and then or you ask the question, but you're being messy when you ask it. Like, who made the mac and cheese?
Who made the mac and cheese?
Yeah. Like, I'm asking because this shit ain't hitting, so I'm trying to figure it out.
I'm trying to make sure I don't go over to their house for Thanksgiving.
No,
we won't. Certain dishes.
Yeah.
It's certain dishes that I make well, and people know that I make well, so they'll ask me to make it. Sometimes I'm a human. Sometimes you fuck up and you make mistakes.
Right.
So I remember this one particular holiday, I made some macaroni and I fucked it up. And I was in the other room and everybody was like, "Oh shit, you made the macaroni." And then it was quiet because you could tell at that moment that it was quiet, they were actually tasting it. And then you hear people say, "D made this macaroni?" This D macaroni?
No, D, I feel you on that one. I absolutely understand because listen, when you are expected to be able to bake, cook, and do these things, and you have like the moment where you like, I fucked up some really easy things with it. Chicken tenders in the oven.
Chicken tenders, bitch.
Fucked it up. Fucked it up.
They're already done.
They were okay. So they were so done. They were so done, and they were like rocks, and I didn't know what had happened. But D, it's only funny because you understand where I'm coming from. Like, you can't. We're so expected to have delicious food when people come over. Like,
that's why you don't be the primary cook. I did that one time because people kept talking about what I made. I said, okay, I gotta cook for people that aren't family. That way I don't have that pressure around family. Because like 2004 or 5, I made a very simple cake. And to this day, niggas be like, they'll call me Brandy Cakes because they like that cake, Brandy, that cake. It was not that deep, but you and I talk, CJ, we like baking. But I'm like, it was a fucking regular cake with some lemon glaze, vanilla. It was simple. Them niggas lost their mind. To this day, they be talking about some Brandy Cakes. And I'm like, nah. Because the one day I don't make that shit right, what you ain't gonna do is done.
Man.
Drag your name through the mud.
They'll drag you. You can get 100 dishes right, and you make that one that don't make it
wrong.
Since you went to the other room, what do you do when it's like your in-laws' food though? What do you do?
You tell your
You better
spouse,
choke it down. That's what I do.
Well, not choke it down.
Choke that shit down.
Wow.
I had someone I was seeing mom cook, and I ate it, and it wasn't hitting. Like nothing was hitting for me. And I was like, damn. Well, and I kind of like played around the food a little bit, drank some like ginger ale or something they had there because I was like, I'll be more full. But I'm just like, I'm not used to that because everybody on our side of the family can burn. So I'm like, when you taste some food and it's like, how are the greens bland? How is the cornbread not hitting? How is nothing fucking Same. I'm like, I can't deal with this. Now, clearly we didn't work out, so that wasn't going to be my mother-in-law anyway. But, yeah, no, the food was not hitting for me.
Thank God I died.
Thank God I dodged the bullet, not Beyonce.
Wow.
It was in that moment. Yeah, that was the defining moment. Nothing else. It was that moment where it's like, we can't work this out because all my folks can cook. And we can't accept this shit.
That shit is funny. Okay, so beyond that part. So beyond faking the food tasting good, how do you fake?
But you know what? It happens. I had a friend who would come home and eat another meal after that. Like just it's that bad. I'm talking. She was like telling her family like, yo, so I had to like I had to pretend to eat like just like enough, like a few bites of everything and make like tiny ass portions like you were in a French restaurant and like eat that. Then come home and eat a real meal like afterwards.
Somebody did that to my sister's pie one. Was it? I think it was Christmas.
Oh no!
No, it was Thanksgiving. My sister made a sweet potato pie, but she usually uses real sweet potatoes. But does the whole thing. And she was like, I'm gonna just cheat. I'm gonna get canned. She didn't know that canned sweet potato is just sweet potatoes in a can. It's not seasoned. It's not no sugar added. So the cake was beautiful, or the pie was beautiful. It looked so nice. It just
tastes like sweet potato on a pie crust.
It tasted like sweet potato and some pie crust, and it was so hot. It was like, how much spice did you put in this? It was hot. I was like, damn, this shit could cure cancer. Like, this is a lot of spice in here. Like, antioxidants of the ass in this motherfucker. It was so spicy and hot and rummy. A lot of rum going on in that thing.
Food is an emotional experience, so I can understand why, like, you can eat something and let that food be shitty, and then on top of that, let you already have a problem with the person. It's like, now I hate you. Because this food could have saved a relationship. Like, I didn't really fool with my ex-husband like that, but I remember stopping through North Carolina before I came up here to Ohio to like live. And his father, who passed, he could cook. And my ex-husband, he's a good cook too. So his dad was like, oh, you want breakfast? And you know somebody can cook when they make the simple shit bomb. So simple like oven or skillet toast and sausage and grits and shit. And you're just like, this shit is phenomenal. And it's like, in that moment, I was like, you know what? I don't fuck with your son, but you cool. Like, if I can still be in the family somehow, some way, just to have this experience, all because of food. It's an emotional experience. You don't want to.
It is.
Like you said, holidays are already emotional. And there's already a lot of stuff going on. You mean to tell me after all this and wait 9 hours to eat and 10 minutes for somebody to get done praying, I'm about to have some nasty ass food?
Oh my God. Isn't that the saddest moment in your life?
So sad.
Especially when it's a staple. when it's the mac and cheese or it's the greens, I'm like, how fucking dare you?
Oh my God.
That's what they said about me. They was like, hey, you need your ass beat. I was like, no.
But you know what? I think they told you though. But
those are things you can fix right away. Or
but here's
like
the thing.
Somebody whip it up.
Like my people and your people, D, told us that it was fucked up because I think they're used to us making good fish, so they didn't have a problem telling us. And I think they probably felt like, oh, we like had an off.
My aunt didn't even tell me. You know what she said?
What?
She said, "Oh, D." I was like, "Oh, fuck, really? Oh, D."
Yes. Like this.
I was like, damn, really?
But
like
you know
that?
what?
Like
you guys are right, because when you're used to somebody making good food, you say that. As my mom has gotten older, I promise you, her cooking skills and she still can cook, but it's like the perfection of it is gone. So now you're accidentally overcooking steaks or things, and it's killing me. I'm a medium rare girl. When I was indulging in a lot of red meat, so I'm like, what's going on, Mom? Like when I lived with her, I would say, you get it started, I'll finish it, because I knew she was gonna fuck it up.
Oh wow!
Every fucking time.
Damn.
And I'm not used to that from her.
Do your mama listen to this podcast?
She don't listen to me. First of all, she don't listen to me.
They don't care about us. I
She doesn't listen at all.
My parents don't. My mama don't listen. I don't think Rob's parents either.
Even if she did, I tell her that shit. Like the women in my family are pretty trill, so none of us can ever come to the other person like, yeah, so and so, blah blah. Yeah, she told me.
Yeah. Yeah, that's how I am.
So what about running into a situation where the food is bomb, right? But the dynamic is so fucked up where you feel like you can't even enjoy the fucking food. Because like that's how every holiday was for me.
Like people just sitting there being crazy?
No,
or is it like crazy. The tension? The tension. Where it's like quiet, but it's not. Quiet. Okay, so like those are worse. I feel like.
Way worse.
I feel
so
like
my mom is the queen of pretending like shit's okay. So every holiday,
come on, Miss K.
You know what she used to do? She used to make us dress up. But I think it stopped when I was like 13. Which is pretty much when we got to Okie, she was like, I'm tired of this shit.
Right.
The food was still bomb, but it's like it was kind of sad because Thanksgiving was like me making a plate downstairs, giving my mom a hug, and going upstairs with my plate and eating. By myself, because if I ate at the table, I was wanting to kill everybody there.
No,
it was bad because my mom used to make us dress up. Like I'm wearing pressed slacks. We're not going nowhere. Nobody's going anywhere. We're not leaving the fucking house.
Listen, I just saw a meme some lady posted talking about I need to find something wear to Thanksgiving to my own living room. So it's like a black thing, I think.
It's such a black thing.
Because I do it too. Like
such a black thing.
Pressed slacks.
I don't do it anymore, but no.
And then she'll make us take pictures. Like she'll set the table all nice, and then we're all smile. Nobody likes each other this whole fucking picture, except for like me and my mom. But like, we're the only ones that actually like each other, and we're all just like.
I mean, I guess like look at D face. The tension does suck if you can't like enjoy your food, and for Thanksgiving or even Christmas. Yeah, I don't know if
you leave, but when you're a kid, when you're like 13,
you can't
14,
control
you can't go nowhere. You're just like.
Well, I will say this: I didn't experience that because my folks, at least while we were kids, they started slipping when we was teenagers. But when we were kids, that kid table was a real ass thing.
Right.
Like you be in another room, y'all be on the other side of the lawn at the barbecue. All that. There was a separation between church and state. So we didn't experience a lot of the bullshit till you get older. Then you realize, man, what was going down? But nah, when we were kids, it was like you just take your little plate and you're literally in your own world. You're not dealing with that. But I have experienced it as an adult, and that's when I'll do what Dee did as a child. I'll get a plate so quick and go somewhere else.
Bounce.
I still want this good ass food.
Smashing. Just
I just need some foil, please. Thank you.
Listen, but you know that don't work too well too, because I don't know if y'all do this, but I'd be that person where it's like I'm gonna go to another room, but I have a tray because my shit gotta be separate. My greens gotta be in something. You know what I mean? I can have
You're one of those.
Oh my God. You don't just pile it on your plate?
I hate those Thanksgiving plates that we're about to see on all these fucking timelines while the shit is just together on one plate.
Ooh, that's me.
I'm like, Why are you doing that?
Because they're all going to the same place, nigga.
Okay, they're all going to the same place. The next time you have some vegan ribs, eat your cereal with that shit too.
No, but that's different.
That's different. That's so different.
The food, like, cause they're like, there's like main proteins and sides.
BJ.
There's like sides. There's sides.
Everything's meant to go together.
Yes.
They complement each other.
Shut the fuck up right now. That's what's meant.
So rude. Oh my God.
Rude as
fuck. Shut the fuck up is meant to go together because I'm not here.
That's so weird.
That is weird.
Do you do that with your regular everyday food though? So what do you do every day? Do you have different like?
What we're not going to do is ask me what I do every day.
I want to know. You told me to shut the fuck up.
I want to ask you that because I'm very curious. Inquiring minds would love to know.
Yeah.
How your crazy ass mind works.
Not my crazy ass mind.
Yeah. Are you like some kind of psycho?
I'm not
only crazy people do that shit. Do you tie your shoes tight?
What?
How do you cut into your casserole pan? Is it sideways or long ways?
One question at a time, please. Oh my God. I will answer all questions for the press.
Because that's some crazy shit. Do you bite into your cats without breaking them? That's
like
crazy
interrogating her.
Pretty much. What shape are your ice cubes? I'm like, what? Yeah, you chewing crust ice, don't you? What? It really does depend on what I'm eating.
Really? So okay, so let me ask you this. If you were to make like say a good steak and you have like your steamed veggies and like mashed potatoes, can you put all of that on the same plate?
I can put all of that on the same plate, but not gonna lie, I probably scoop my mashed potatoes a little further off.
Oh, she's psycho.
Okay. With mashed potatoes or sweet potatoes?
No, sweet potatoes, I let touch everything. Everything.
So nothing can touch anything?
What'd you say?
Nothing can touch anything? Is that what you're saying?
No. He said, what about sweet potatoes? And I said, sweet potatoes, I let touch everything. Like, if I really like it,
you're a murderer. You are a murderer.
Sweet potatoes are not supposed to touch anything. That's like the one thing that people don't want. Yes.
Separate.
No,
you're a murderer. You have bodies under your apartment.
That juice tastes good with shit.
Oh, that juice is what's not supposed to touch the rest of the food on the plate, my friend. Oh, D, we're going to have to sign off on this note.
We're going to have to.
I'm not giving you my address.
It ain't safe. It ain't safe. It ain't
well,
safe.
Bitch, that's fine. I didn't want to come to your raggedy wedding anyway. Tell Rob that I'll see them later. And tell your brother we done.
Oh, wait a minute. Oh, so no, for real. So when you have a rectangular casserole, do you cut it the long way or the short way?
Who the fuck does the long way?
First of all, who the fuck is making casserole to do it? Second of all, because I couldn't tell you last time I made casserole. If I have a casserole, like
what about like even if it's like cornbread in like that long
bitch, I'm trying to tell
dish.
You, even in a dish, even with cornbread, I do a corner.
Okay. I can get you with that shit.
I'm not laughing at it.
But
what do you mean a quarter?
A corner.
Okay.
I cut pieces out. I hate when someone just is like, let's just cut all this shit at once. I don't like
somebody did that shit to my macaroni and I almost passed out.
Oh no. My, they cut the fucking macaroni
like a damn. I was like, what?
Now that's psycho.
Omar, it was Omar. If you're watching, Omar was you. Crazy motherfucker. I was like, what the fuck are you doing? I made some macaroni and he went and pre-cut the fucking mouse. I said, what the fuck are you doing?
Everybody knows
like, what the fuck is wrong with you?
Okay, so the only amount I would probably pre-cut is like the one row and then like into 3 pieces for people to
you get it started.
Right?
Yes.
Just getting started.
That's what I mean.
Let me tell you who
murderers pre-cut the whole fucking thing.
I had to yell murderer in my own kitchen because my fiance had cut it long ways one time on the rectangular fucking day.
You better be careful.
I've seen them. I've seen ID
channels. Does he tie his shoes tight? Does he tie his shoes tight?
What the fuck is you talking about?
Because he can like
tie your shoelaces too tight. Your ass is crazy.
Psycho.
I know. Look, with your mind. I know I don't tie my shoelaces.
You're so insecure with yourself that you need to feel grounded. So you gotta tie your shoes tight.
Look
like
at
you gotta feel like you gotta. You know what I'm saying? Like
what is it?
I think if you tie your, my grandma told me,
untied, so they not too tight.
See a motherfucker with their shoes tight, they might pop your ass.
Who told you that, Grandma?
My grandma.
I know your grandma, right? I know she been right. I was just discussing the knee thing with Rob the other day.
I was just gonna say she had the knee joint correct.
Listen, grandmas knew what they was talking about. Let me tell you, mine did
they
too.
Know.
But for real, I
told you my grandma used to say, she would always say, "There's only like 5 people that run the world." I'm like, "The fuck is you talking about?"
Because she was right. Because she was right.
Fucking right.
Mm-hmm. She knew. I think she knew. I think a lot of our family members that are older, like when I say our, I mean like our Black family members, knew a lot more about what the fuck went down than all these conspiracy theorists are talking about. I feel like my dad already, because some of the stuff my dad used to say, I have reread on the internet later. Like, it's fucking.
I believe it.
I was like, how did you know this shit in the 70s and like 60s? And you know what
I think when they were going through shit and like that too, when you're in the heat of a lot of the stuff they were with not as many distractions, because even with drugs and war and everything else, I still feel like we are far more distracted than what they were. Sure. They ain't have no choice but to fucking pay attention because shit was going down all the time, and now we're like,
well, shit, whatever. They were like bombing.
Oh, let me take a selfie.
The what?
He said, let me take a selfie.
I know. That's what I'm saying. But no, for real, like it was just crazy.
Oh God.
But no, I think this family thing is crazy though. I was trying to think back. About, you know,
if they let their shit like touch, because that's gonna be a thing.
I want to ask too.
That's a good thing to put on our pages.
Let's make that a question.
What foods do you let touch? And then how do you cut? Like,
how do you cut your casserole?
Or do you scoop? Because
how do you cut a cake?
Needs to be scooped.
People
who pre-cut cakes. Fuck you. You pre-cut a cake. Fuck you. How the fuck you gonna fix your mouth to tell me what the fuck I need, what portion I need?
You know what's worse than that? The people that pre-cut it and they do it till about 3 or 4 slices and then stop. Because and then when they don't even do it right, especially when it's a circular cake, because I'm like, this shit.
when the slices start getting
so fucking
either too long or too short. It's too long or too short at the end.
You do not understand.
This shit makes me want to hurt somebody.
If you guys are listening this Thanksgiving, please make sure that you cut your cake a slice at a time.
And
one slice at a time.
You at least wait till your cake is a little cooled off before you're putting fucking icing on it.
Oh, people do that all the time.
I'm tired of people icing looking like soup.
So baking, like I have so much fun looking at Pinterest fails because I'm a baker and it like cracks me up. There's this show called Nailed It on Netflix. Have you guys seen it?
Love it.
So they're oh my God, D, you have to watch it because you're like
you
baking.
Would love it. Because the host is like me on steroids.
Listen,
I'm watching that shit. What's it called again?
I was telling Rob that I didn't like the host at first, and it's because I saw too much of ourselves in it. Like, because I shit you not, I was like, I don't like her. Why is she like this? And then as the show went on, I was like, that is me. Like in my own.
That's the only reason I watched it. Somebody was like, "This girl reminds you of you." I was like, "Nobody reminds you of me."
Put your matches away.
He did it again.
She's just out here. Listen, like it's so good. So the show is basically like these people who like to bake but are not good bakers. So they said, I guess they send in videos of their like mistakes and Pinterest fails and all that other stuff, and they compete for real money and prizes. Like I really want to go on.
That's cool.
Like I feel like
I need to work out my left arm more because my right arm is a bit bigger.
My right arm is extremely longer than my left. I think
like
I'm afflicted as fuck.
That's
the definition though.
But it's because you're right-handed, aren't you?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I am. I'm trying to like.
It's like this much longer though. I think I'm like fucked up.
I don't know. What the fuck? Y'all are the most random. You see how off task they be? We was just talking about cake slices. Now we talking about.
I had to talk about something else because it really angers me when I see somebody cut a circular cake and them slices be thin as shit, and then the slice don't even sit up. So then my cake just slide on the side on my fucking plate.
Oh, so people serve it like that on purpose.
I hate it.
Oh, they do that with like.
I like my cake slice to be sitting up so I can boom.
So like the newer cakes where they make it extremely tall, they do it so that it does like sit down on the plate.
It's different when you have like a big cake. It makes more sense, but when your cake is this damn big,
like 2 layers, it better fucking
and you laying my shit, get the fuck out of here. Exactly.
Not get the fuck out of here.
Oh my God.
What would you say? What would you say is the most important dish for Thanksgiving?
Fuck, that's so hard.
This is another good question for our.
That's so hard for me because I don't eat much meat, but if I could eat meat all day, it would be turkey. Honestly, I like.
Get the fuck out of here! You're the other murderer.
I like dark meat turkey, like the part with only when it's oven roasted, the bottom where it's like dark meat. That's like my favorite part of the turkey.
I think you need to quit saying dark meat around your future husband. I think you need to watch that shit.
He knows. Like I enjoy even like when I like buy like rotisserie chicken, I eat the bottom. So gross. But also I am prone to loving the desserts, like the pies and stuff. Mm-hmm. Like pecan. Oh, dude. So like when I was growing up, my dad was the baker. I told you guys that before, and he would make so many things like pies, cookies, cakes, everything. And like I never go a holiday without making my dad sweet potato pies and pecan pies. Even when I lived in like Nebraska, I cooked like Thanksgiving dinner for all the people who were there who didn't have family close by. So I was like made in CJ, like fucking cooking up a storm. And I made like 12 pies in one night and like served it up to all my friends and took it to their apartments. Like one girl said she ate pie for breakfast for like a week because that's the only
in her house. Like I do that without the holidays.
Oh my God, but like pecan pie, sweet potato pie, I think
that's all I need.
That's number one, and then my second would be not stuffing, but dressing with cranberry sauce and the turkey like mixed up. That's number two. I gotta have that. Those two combos.
Oh wow, you really eat cranberry sauce? Okay.
I love.
Hey, compliment stuff. I'm not talking about y'all motherfuckers that open up the can and slice that motherfucker and be like, served.
No, I love that. That's my favorite kind.
Ew, no. What the fuck? Are you gonna get on me about my food touching and you be eating that?
I think slice that shit up. Because of my childhood. That's what my dad served out of the can. Love that shit. Dance move? Didn't we? Somebody hit the light.
So we
no, seriously, and it's so great. I don't know why, but you like the ocean spray cranberry sauce. Like if you pop it out, you cut it in half, and it has like these ridges on it. They have ridges.
Yeah, the little
slice them like perfectly.
I used to think it was for that.
So yeah, I know what she's serving at her goddamn wedding.
She could have slices.
We're not having sliced cranberry sauce at my wedding, but I do love it.
Sure we're not. I didn't think you were having sliced cranberry sauce, but here we are.
I do like.
I'm running into a catastrophe, so I'm relocating. I'll be right back.
That's cool. I don't know what a catastrophe is, but you could just take us with you.
He just said it so smooth too.
Oh my God, he sure did. I don't know what that means. Like, was he like
what does it mean? Nobody
was he getting run over by a car? I can't tell if he was in his garage or the kitchen.
What sucks about him is you don't know when he's being serious or not.
Dude.
The level of seriousness. He'll say some real shit and be laughing, and it's like, no, this is serious.
Yeah, you're like, wait. Or like he'll like keep a straight face and tell you a joke, or you're like, oh my God. You're like, no, I'm just fucking kidding. Like,
yeah, and I'm like, sir, I can't.
Where do you think he went? He just like muted himself, got off the screen, and just disappeared.
I'm really enjoying that every other episode he just fucking disappears.
He's just
like, what the fuck is this about?
I need him to stop. No, so I also have like I think is it a 10-pound cranberry can in my
wow.
I found it at a store.
Need you to stop talking.
I posted it last year because I cut a third and put it in a fucking bowl, took it to my in-laws, cut a third, put it in a fucking bowl, took it to my mom's, and we still had like this. It was like a jelly cake, almost like.
I hate y'all.
I'm sorry.
I hate y'all so much.
But I mean, you asked, so I answered. You said what?
You did. I just would not. I'm telling you, if I had to bet my life, I wouldn't have. That's like someone saying fruitcake for that, like Christmas. Like,
okay, so it depends. My dad made bomb ass fruitcake. I shit you not. Like, it wasn't like, you know how when you buy like store-bought fruitcake, it tastes like real sticky and like.
Couldn't tell you because I don't fool with fruitcake.
It's like, I think the ones I've tried that was store-bought was really super like dense and sticky, and like just it tasted like the syrup had dried halfway through the cake from the fruits, and it just was not good. Or they put like,
if you just ate bread pudding, you wouldn't have this problem.
Oh, bread pudding?
Yes, bread
pudding.
How
are we friends? Well, I don't even know you anymore. I don't even know you.
I feel like this is causing a lot of division.
Oh,
bread pudding?
Yeah, thank you.
I love bread pudding. No, first of all, my sister, who is one of the
and what
best
the fuck are you doing with 10 pounds of fucking cranberry sauce? That's some weird shit.
Yeah, let's get to that shit. Why you getting on me about
bread
pudding?
Do you guys want to see it? Do you want to see it?
Yes.
I don't
see how big this damn can is.
Hold on, I'm gonna go get it. Hold on.
Who's gonna eat all that shit?
I'm not just
eating 10 pounds of cranberry sauce.
Apparently her family. My sister makes bomb bread pudding that has brandy in it, caramel sauce. She even uses like donuts as bread. Like, it's fucking bomb. Like,
that sounds good.
It is. It's not like regular bullshit bread pudding, because I remember not even wanting to taste hers at first because I was like, I don't eat bread pudding. And she was like, you'll eat mine. And I sure did, and it was bomb. Who is sending me videos? Okay.
You ready?
Okay,
see, I was worried about bread pudding. The best bread pudding I ever had so far is from one of my coworkers, an older Latino lady. She was like, oh, no, you'll like my bread pudding. And I tasted it. I was like, this shit is amazing.
I've made one once that was
this
good.
Shit is fucking amazing.
Yeah. Also, CJ likes fruitcakes.
Only homemade.
Is it Caribbean fruitcake? Is it Caribbean?
It's homemade. It's like the lighter version without the sticky crap throughout the cake.
So is it real fruit in it?
Yeah, but it's like the.
Okay.
That's what it is. Like, I think the store-bought ones get really heavy and dense from the syrup and stuff, and it's gross.
And then they use that weird jelly shit. So I always grew up thinking fruit cake was good. Because my grandma, who's from Barbados, she used to mail it to us.
And it's good when it's homemade.
From South Carolina, and it had hella rum in it. When you open it, it was just liquored.
Thank you.
Down, and it was delicious.
My dad used to soak that bitch in rum.
Yeah, we used to soak it. So the tradition is to soak it on Thanksgiving, and you cook it on Christmas. So you soak your fruits in rum the whole time.
So good.
For that whole month, and then you drink the rum, and then you use it.
Now that sounds fun.
You guys ready?
It's really good.
What the fuck, CJ?
CJ.
And this is what I'm using as the goddamn screenshot. This bullshit right here. These scratching his head, me more.
What is it? Like, I'm sorry. It's not 10. It's 7 pounds of delicious jellied cranberry sauce.
It is. He said it's still too much.
It is. Okay, so
it's 6 pounds too much.
Listen, because Heather was 7.7. 7 pounds, 7 ounces. This is almost as big as my newborn was. Like,
yeah, and that much worth of cranberry sauce.
And she's proud of it. Look at her.
Look at it. Look at the slices. They're so perfect. Look at
it. Little circular slices.
And did you see that shit?
What?
Put it back in the camera.
What?
Put it back
how the food was touching, Brandy?
All that goddamn food is touching. How dare they? How dare they?
Oh, man.
I'm writing a letter.
To Ocean Spray.
No. I remember the first time I had real cranberry sauce, I was like, what the fuck is this?
It's really good.
I like cranberry sauce. I was like, no, it's supposed to be circles. Like Jello, what the fuck is this shit?
Slices.
Like, what the fuck?
G, do you have a favorite like Thanksgiving staple? Like what's got to be hitting no matter what?
That's what it was.
I am addicted to greens. I can eat greens every day.
Really?
Greens,
potatoes, tomatoes.
No, that was my favorite video
neck bones. That's my thing. I can eat greens and neck bones literally every day.
So like
I can eat it with rice. I can eat it with cornbread. I can eat it with noodles. I'll serve it up. I'll eat this shit.
I make greens like even when it's not a holiday. Like I like greens too. I just make them
every day.
I definitely have to agree with him on that. Like it is a very, very close I mean, I'm talking close 3-way tie between greens, macaroni and cheese, and cornbread, but that's just because I'm a bread whore.
Those three.
That's such a bread whore, but that is like my holy trinity of your Thanksgiving dinner ain't shit if all three of those things aren't together.
Oh, definitely. So
I feel like when you have those three things together, and then maybe you also threw in there a bomb dessert, and then the turkey wasn't dry, it's like you had the infinity gauntlet and all the stones.
Green beans, mac and cheese, cornbread.
You put all the stones in there. You're the most powerful nigga in the galaxy. And you make all that shit right.
Let me tell you this. I quit making turkey.
Why?
I don't like it. I don't make turkey. I make pork shoulder. Ooh. I don't. If somebody cooks it, or if I go over to someone's house, I'll eat it. But I make pork shoulder, so I marinate my pork shoulder for 3 days. So I take it and I stab it. I was about to make a crazy joke. I'm not saying it, but I stab it really bad, right? Brandy knows where I was going with it. Brandy knows what I was going to say. She has the same sick ass mind that I do. But,
okay, fire tigers. Fire tigers. I hate y'all.
So bad. I stab it up and then I put the garlic slivers inside.
Oh yeah, you be doing it up.
I chop up garlic.
I like how we heard garlic and we're like, yes.
You were like, yes. I'm like,
okay. My garlic slivers. I do a whole. So when I do mine, I do a whole bowl of garlic.
Oh yeah,
chopped up.
I'm that person when a recipe's like 2 spoonfuls. I'm like 10.
I'm like, yeah, we're talking garlic, or they're like, oh, hot pepper. We know what's best.
Like, we think we know better, so
we do.
I do a whole bowl of garlic, and then I mix it with olive oil and salt and black pepper.
Ooh.
And then I use that to pretty much just rub it all across the whole thing, and then I stuff it inside the slits.
Yeah, I'm into.
And then I throw my own little personal seasonings on top, and then I let it sit. And then every day that goes by, I rotate it. One day, then I rotate it the next day, and rotate it the last day. Then I put it and I bake it for 5 hours.
Damn. So we just gonna go over to D's this year, or?
Definitely.
You gotta make sure you like cut that skin back, and then you rub it with other stuff.
Ah, yeah. Yeah.
Like I hope, like my mom normally likes to fry turkeys because ever since she got like the deep fryer machine, you can't tell her shit. I do
like fried.
So the deep fried turkey is good, but I like when people decide to do a non-traditional Thanksgiving. Like years ago, my sister did like an Italian one. So there was manicotti and this and that and other, and it was bomb. So I kind of like a more avant-garde take on it.
I've done that.
Really get together and cook what you can now. Disclaimer to those listening: if you can't cook like that, nigga, that ain't for you.
No.
So stick to the classic, stick to what the fuck you know.
Yeah, no.
Don't decide, okay, we're gonna do a Hispanic version.
Yeah, if that's not something you do. I've done a mixture one where we did like, cause I was in San Antonio, and we were like, ooh, let's do, or was it Nebraska? My mind's a blur, but one of them. And I was like, ooh, let's do egg rolls and some like fried rice too, plus the like.
That
the
was
turkey.
I remember.
Was it at San Antonio? Okay.
That was in San Antonio.
So we did like egg rolls and like rice and all that, plus like our like Thanksgiving staples on top of it. So we looked like,
because it was like an oaky Thanksgiving.
Yes, it was. My God.
You remember that back in the day, going house to house?
Yes. Yes.
Like, Thanksgiving, like at every you had
like so in Okie, like for New Year's, you know, because that's their biggest holiday, in Obon, you have to go and visit every single one of your relatives' houses before you get to Big Mama's house, which is usually, you know, you're the oldest grandma on your parents' side or whatever. And you start bright as fuck in the morning, like 7, 8 o'clock in the morning. And they already have like tempura and noodles and everything ready to go. They're ready to go. And you get to the first house, you have to at least eat one thing before they are like, okay, bye now. You know what I'm saying? And then by the 12th house, really, like you're pretty stuffed. And by the time you get to Big Mama's house, where the main course is, you're like, do I want to eat? But you do, because it's like sushi and shit.
Yeah.
Like, you know, we still go, but it's a lot. It was really, you know what was really weird now that I'm thinking about that? You know how you said they had the kids' table and stuff in Okie, because they were like super traditional. Like the women and the older teen and older girls would have to like serve food to the guys first in order of age, to like all my uncles and stuff, and then serve the kids and then serve ourselves last. Isn't that crazy?
Really?
Yeah.
I've never liked that idea of, well, let me get the guy his plate first.
Well, you know what? It's a give and take situation. I think people misconstrue, because I do that in my household too. I always fix Rob's plate first and hand it to him. And then I do my oldest child, I do Emma's, and then I do Heather's, and then I go sit down with my plate. But I think people misunderstand it when they hear just that part, because people forget, like, there's another side to that where Rob is taking care of taking out the trash. He changes the bathroom trash, the kitchen room trash. He cleans out the garage.
About shit.
Yeah, that's what I mean. So
that part, it has to work.
That part. So
when you know somebody ain't about shit, I'm like, why the fuck is Devontae?
Oh yeah, girl. No, if I see, not Devontae, but no. So like when I say I'm a traditionalist, I mean like there is a give and take in that tradition, where it's like if I'm gonna do certain things to treat my man like a king, then he better be treating me like a queen situation.
Yeah, that's all I'm saying. I don't like, and that again is that holiday family dynamics, is when your family run their mouth too much. I'm like, I know who ain't shit and who is. So I don't like seeing somebody all of a sudden turning into this girl for their guy, when I'm like, he's still beating and cheating on you, sis. So all of a sudden he's still beating her.
Those are no-go.
Like, I can't respect that. I'm like, this is a joke. Or even when I see it on Instagram, because it's going to be heavy around the holidays.
You better, baby, cooking me
this, that. Listen, everybody about to have their families up here and posting all this shit. And I'm like, look, I am all for healthy dynamics, and when the shit is like really what you're talking about. But when I know for a fact it ain't that, nah.
So like, if you guys are at these family functions and you see something crazy, do you pull these niggas aside and talk to them about it? Like, I'm curious. Like,
what do you mean by pull aside? Like
pull aside?
Maybe not even in that moment. I don't know. Like, I don't know.
What is this pull aside?
I mean, like, so let's say you got a niece or something who's, you know, in their early 20s, and then she bring a man home with her and she's fixing him a plate, and you already know he ain't shit, nigga, because you seen him.
Oh my God,
like
that totally
somebody
happened.
Else.
Okay, so that happened at the wedding.
Look at that. See?
Because two things happened. It happened with my cousin, because he brought a girl that we was all like, now I know you did not bring her here because her outfit was a mess and her hair was a mess. And one thing about the women on my family, when we get glammed up, we get glammed up. You can't bring nobody around who's tacky. She was tacked up. So we was like, Wesley, you know good and damn well.
So you got a Wesley too?
Don't everybody got a Wesley?
And then what also wasn't cute was my new bonus sister, who's funny enough, I'm 10 years younger than my sister. She's 10 years younger than me.
Okay.
So she bring the dude that she's seeing, and me and my sister have already peep game. Like, this nigga ain't.
So do you say anything to them though? That's what I want to know.
Yes, absolutely.
Oh, okay.
I told her right then and there.
That's what I wanted to know. Is it like right there and there? Like,
absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Okay.
It's on site. It is on site.
On site.
But I'm slick with it. I'm not gonna do it where it's like making them feel.
Well, no. I mean, that's what I meant by like pull aside. Like you do it like face to face, away from other people. Like it's just you and her.
I was like
and
making
him.
my jokes and stuff and whatever else the case. But then like it was funny because it was a little shit that I knew she wasn't gonna catch because we've all been there.
Mm-hmm.
But I was talking to her, and then my sister goes, "Oh, you don't want to roll with Brandy. She's trouble." This nigga says, "Oh, I like trouble."
Oh, excuse me? No.
You with my bonus sister right now. And then two, I'm like 13 years older than you. Fuck no. Gross.
Well, gotta nip that thing in the bud.
Yeah,
man.
We were done. So I was like, that ain't it, sis. Like, no. You can do a lot better. Ain't it?
I don't know. What so we've gotten some conclusions. We should tell people if they make us feel some type of way. If they fuck it up, tell them, but in a nonchalant way, like to other people, I guess, right? Yeah. Don't tell them in front of other people, because once you embarrass people in other people, that's like over. Because then you do create beef that way. Like
you do
doing it in front.
But
of
at the same time, you can create beef just by giving a good caution. Like, yo, you might want to watch this motherfucker.
You know why people?
Fuck you and
you know why people do that? It's because they're insecure. That's why.
Yeah, of course.
That's
but it's always still going to be beef. It's still going to be bullshit. So that's why my approach, I just don't say anything. I just don't go. And I just,
hard.
I make, it's sad to say it like this, but in a lot of situations, I created my family. A lot of times, I
feel you on that.
Are
Me
my
too.
family too.
Like
because blood doesn't necessarily make you family.
Y'all come to my wedding. My side is gonna be nothing but Okie peeps and friends. I'm letting you know it's Nebraska peeps, Okie peeps, San Antonio peeps, Texas peeps, all my peeps.
Yeah.
That's what it's going to be.
It's not cranberry sauce there. I'm good.
Bitch.
If it is, just make sure you slice it thin, because that's how they like it.
Not slice
right
it
on
thin.
the ridge of the can.
Right on the ridge.
Where they tell you to.
And then she's going to put it on top of like all my other food.
Oh my God.
Go,
if I see Brandy's plate and she's away from it, I'm going to go take her spoon and smash it all together.
No, you got to make her plate and just stack everything on top like a castle.
Oh my God, I'm going to ask my consultant.
I would leave. I'd be
my
like, it was
consultant
very
is crazy.
Nice meeting y'all. Rob, we'll talk later.
He'll be all right. And then and if food is gross, most people will keep it to themselves and then talk about it behind your back. We learned that today.
Yeah.
Unless you're usually a really good cook and they want to question what the hell happened, because
that's when they have to figure out what's wrong with you.
You know what I don't know if Dee goes through this. If I follow a recipe too well, it doesn't come out the way it's supposed to.
Ever. Because I think, you know why? I think it's because you have a signature flair. Everybody has a signature thing.
I think that's what it is.
And people are used to, even if I follow a recipe and I follow it to the T and it comes out, I'm sure it tastes like how it's supposed to.
But it doesn't feel like
this doesn't taste like you
made it.
When I did those like monster tacos for PJ's birthday party, I did not like them, but kids eat anything. But I'm like, I wasn't feeling this, but I literally followed a recipe. Everything else I fucking freestyle. I'll look at a picture of something, see what they put in the ingredients, and be like, all right, I'll just do that. And that's it.
Yes.
That's cooking to me.
Yes.
As soon as I followed like, half a teaspoon of cumin and this and that, I was like, this shit don't taste right.
So you don't measure when you cook, right? Because I don't measure when I cook.
The only thing I measure usually, because I have to bake out stuff are sugar cookies, because it has to be like exact. Even with that, I add in extra spices and shit like that to make it flavorful. So the only thing I always measure is flour, butter, and I don't even know what sugar.
I never measure butter.
Well, when I say measure butter, when they're like, so like
no. With baking,
it's just baking.
Now, when
baking is different. That's a chemistry.
So when I'm cooking, I don't even measure flour.
No.
Cooking, I don't measure shit.
Like when people are like, "Oh, so you make a roux," and they're like 4 tablespoons of butter with 2 tablespoons of flour.
Nah,
what's that? Just throw the bitches in there. Like,
when
I will.
If you add a little extra, if it be too loose.
I have hella measuring cups, and I've literally used them for these same liquids.
For what, Brandy?
Listen, a lot of times I get them because I have some that are in the shape of like hearts and stuff.
Because they're cute and shit. That's why you get them.
Cute. Yeah. So I have so many. Anyway, I have rainbow knives. They look like that gasoline.
You would.
Like, girl,
yeah, of course. I had that one too.
So anyway, I use my measuring cup to scoop water to pour that bitch in my ironing. So I do that because I'm bad at like having a little cup for that. So I'll use measuring cups for it.
I got you.
So that's all the fuck you're gonna get out of me.
I do. Yeah, I can't find the spouts. I was like, hand me half a cup of water.
That's funny.
And I'll use it for that. And sometimes, depending on what it is, I will use the cups for like water, or use the what is it called? Not the measuring spoons, but the actual cup. I thought it was called something else because
a measuring cup.
No, I thought it was called something else, like the big one. I'm really thinking like huge ones are called something else.
No, they still measuring cups.
No,
they go
it's a measuring cup.
Measuring cups?
Yeah, they're just huge.
So you thought about it just a little too hard. You thought a little too deep there.
The black
it's okay.
ones,
you're fine.
I use for water.
So see, like,
but I don't use it for anything else.
Like today, I made breakfast for dinner. I made pancakes for the kiddos and everybody. and I used my half cup measuring cup to scoop the batter out of the bowl, not to measure anything. I was like, whoop, whoop, whoop. Like
it's just a big spoon.
It was a big spoon that did pretty good. Like it evened out the pancakes. Like
before, when I didn't want to wash a spoon, I used the measuring
I
cup.
remember you eating with one. You were on camera with us. Like I saw it.
Cause she ratchet.
I mean, but no, like seriously, because also I really want to make like a black Pinterest or like a POC Pinterest, because like I'm not just talking about recipes, but also
we can
like
do Thanksgiving fail.
Yeah, or like even so
like, greens out.
Listen, you guys ever make like if you bake
fuck up greens so bad.
I'm like, how the fuck when they taste like paper, unseasoned paper? I'd be so.
It tastes like an oak tree. Like.
No, we really. I feel like we need a black or brown or POC Pinterest. Like all these recipes. Like Rob laughs because I call them my base recipe. Like so, if they have like
it's the base.
It's the base. If they have like a dressing,
it's not the final one.
No, it's a base recipe. Like pancakes that I made today. They didn't have not one spice in there. And they were talking about 1 teaspoon of vanilla. I was like, what is this?
I was just going to say, CJ, I swear to God, I was just about to ask how much vanilla you put in there. Because this is me putting vanilla in my pancakes.
She's just pouring. And what they say, when your ancestor tells you to stop.
Okay. Or then I like cinnamon too, so I'll be up there with the cinnamon.
Shit. You know? Like
I mean, that's literally how I taught DJ how to cook. He would get too caught up in like measuring stuff, and I'm like, no, you'll drive yourself crazy, because I started off like that too. It's like, don't drive yourself crazy. It
doesn't matter.
But then get this, I'm making like some Mexican rice yesterday, because I was like, I want to do some beans, some rice. I already have tortillas. I say I got some cheese. You just look in your refrigerator and you're basically like, I can make some bean tacos. Yeah. I could even like, maybe
that's
put
how
those
I do
little
too.
bad boys in a pocket and deep fry them. Like I'm like, I could make some bean empanadas. I can figure this out.
Right.
Anyway, I get ready to start, and then he was like, oh, you're overthinking it. And before I knew it, he had it going on the stove. And he was like, oh, you don't have to read anything or look at it. Like he just had it. And I was like, okay, PJ, right. I was like, okay.
PJ gonna come cater my wedding?
I was like, now my son can cook. I'll be really proud of him. I don't trust him. Shit. I don't trust him with baking. And every time he's around my dad,
burn the whole building down looking ass nigga.
Listen, there's not a lot of people in the family outside of my sister that I feel like are bakers.
Baking
we got some
a different thing.
But we don't have
totally different.
I think me and my sister are the only ones who bake. Nope, let me take that back. Me, my sister, and my mother. But my mom sticks to her staples, which is peach cobbler and this wonderful, like, apple tart she makes in these ramekins. Like, they're so fucking good.
That got so fancy so fast.
Oh,
I know. It sounds really good.
Got fancy so fast. First of all, me and my family, you already know.
I know. Bougie.
Super bougie. So you already know. But that's another staple for me. If your peach cobbler ain't fucking hidden.
Ooh, you ain't had Miss K's peach cobbler.
To me, peach cobbler will cancel you out the Thanksgiving game faster and harder.
Do you guys do like the crispy one or like the soft one? The peach cobbler.
So the base of my mom's is very soft, but the way she does it top, it turns into a streusel. Ooh. So it's very crumbly and crispy and cinnamony.
I should try that. Mine's a really soft one too.
Like I want all on the inside and the bottom to be all like soft, but that top part, I need a crust. I need some crust.
Mine's
but the way she does it, she pours it. It's so crazy. So she pours her she has her base, like she'll put in the batter, and then she pours in molten hot fucking filling. And when she pours it in, the crust or the batter kind of comes over.
Oh, okay.
Oh, nice.
Oh my God. And then she throws it in the oven.
So mine's almost similar to that. It might be really good.
Yeah, it's very streusely. I love it. Like the sugar
content is kind of high. I might want to try the streusel one.
It's really good. And it has a lot of lemon. She puts lemon and lime zest. So it's very like.
We're looking at us. We're like, oh.
Right, our fat asses.
We're gonna try this. We're gonna find some zest.
Look, we like baking because we're like, you hit us with
so it's very citrus and spice. The citrus spice combo.
I'm gonna try that.
Spice and all that. It's very aromatic, and your house smells like Georgia. It's nice.
He said aromatic.
I love that. He meant it.
I really do like baking.
2 years after slavery, it's nice.
No,
it's fresh. It's fresh freedom.
You remember that meme that said
before Jim Crow?
Something about the greens being so good, like Anthony Hamilton started singing when they was like on.
So wrong.
I was fucking dying. I was like, yeah, that would be some good greens. I want to hear some old slave hymns when you're making it.
No.
Some Negro spirituals.
No.
I mean, them greens.
Or else you ain't making them.
Picking them cottons. I can't.
I'm going to have to make y'all some greens. Can I make greens for your wedding?
I mean, you would have to serve it somewhere else.
I'm going to make you a big-ass pot of greens.
Like, did you hear the way he said, I just want that on a t-shirt from D. Another quote. Can I make some greens for your wedding?
I want to make you some greens. I want to make you a big ass pot of greens. It's probably bombed in the mouth.
We have to sit down. We need to.
And I don't cook collards either. I don't cook collards. I cook turnips and mustard mix.
We can do greens. I mean, but here's the thing. So, like, my wedding place like caters, which I'm a little bit afraid of, but like it is what it is. And I'm hoping that when I go to the tasting,
my mom's catering turned out good, so they might turn it out for you.
It might be. I mean, but here's the thing: like the real party's gonna be like after all of that, and then we go downtown and go get shit faced together. So.
And your wedding's on the 20th?
26, nigga. I'm gonna text it to you. He don't listen. He's such a man.
He does not listen to fucking.
You just a boy. I hate you.
You're a boy. You don't understand.
Yes, guys are always like Robbie doing the same thing. Robbie doing the same
we have to go karaoke because
we're getting it.
Oh my god.
Karaoke. We're doing bills again.
No.
Oh my god, yes. You trifling.
I'll be singing that at the top of my lungs.
I did a remix.
Man, they was trying to school us, and I'm like, you guys have been telling me to leave broke niggas alone, and here I am.
Man, you ain't paying my bills. She said, here I am.
Broke niggas. No more.
But I mean, here's the thing. You know what
Baby, I'ma do right.
Oh,
okay.
No more.
Like, you know what I have?
More than just...
Wow. Do I need to tell the DJ to play a couple of our E1D songs? Am I gonna tell him to put on some Christina Aguilera from back in the day?
Yo, me and Louie busted out Christina at Kmart one day in Wisconsin.
You told me that.
Yep.
She was like, D, it's on. We got to.
Oh my God. That first part of coming over. Fucking.
The only part I remember is that get close, get tight. That shit.
The fall though. It was like this
fall was great.
The fall.
Such a 90s video moment. Fucking.
It was the highlight. I'm like, we killed this shit.
I can't.
What's that scene? What do you mean?
The best
no shade, Cherie. Cherie was a part of the step team, and she be listening to us for real. That is no shade.
Cherie.
Cherie.
No.
Love me so Cherie.
I'm dead.
We're just gonna keep saying.
Cherie was scary back in high school. Remember Cherie?
Cherie.
Knock a bitch out. That shit
fucking crazy.
See how we be off task? We went from talking about Thanksgiving dinner to fucking dancing and Cherie.
I don't even know why. And then later on we ended up cool. But I was like, I don't understand why we had beef. Couldn't tell you.
You guys have beef?
Listen,
for some reason.
Let me tell you something.
Or was it
about
imaginary beef that people?
No,
it was maybe imaginary.
Do you realize that Brandy has said that she has had beef or did not like somebody in the beginning almost every time before they became friends, including you, D, including me, D.
It's you, Brandy.
It's you,
You're the
Brandy.
common fucking denominator.
No, here's what I said, you fucking cranberry whore. What I said was, people keep telling me that they weren't feeling me or my vibe at first, and then later they're like, oh, we're cool, and then they admit to me, oh, I didn't like you at first, and I'm like, what the fuck, I didn't do
I could have swore you did that to me, Brandy, because I thought it was cool the whole time.
Because I definitely did it to you.
Pretty sure. Pretty sure.
Oh man.
No, I was actually cool with CJ until she was fucking everybody's mom. Then I was like, I don't like her.
Yeah, she was up. CJ. It took me a minute to warm up CJ. CJ was kind of mean at first.
CJ's not. She's like, you know what it was? I was keeping it too real, too fast for the youngins, and I didn't realize that.
Yeah, that's what it was. You were too real for us.
You guys used to You guys had like, what's the word? You guys used to have partiality toward me, I guess you could say. Because I remember. So you remember when you guys got the goggles for the first performance at DMX?
Yeah.
And then you guys only told me. You and Chris pulled me and were like, so these are props. We got the goggles. Don't tell them because they're so immature. But we know you can handle it. I was like, oh yeah, I'm not telling nobody.
The fact that
I'm not telling nobody.
Over fucking goggles.
Over goggles.
Well, you know what? Those are important when you're teenagers.
You and the rest of the team would have been like, oh my God, goggles. Y'all had ADD. And I was like,
they really did.
You did too. Second of all, I may have had ADD, but a bitch was never off on that stage. I know that.
Well, you know. But you know what? Here's
the thing. Missed a beat. I know that.
I think we all grew from all of that. I don't know, but when I figured out that I have always been that way, because I think I told you on one of the episodes or maybe off camera that like it all started in like 4th, 5th grade when I started taking karate lessons. And I started teaching how to do it to other kids. And that was like 6th grade, you know what I mean? So I have always done like the momming thing. And then it doesn't help that my mom is basically the same way. And I see it even more now because I'm a mom now. And I have to stop my mom from doing
just to chip off the old block.
I just fucking, now I'm trying to break the habit. Like, I'll be like, Mom, I need you to chill on Heather. Like, why can't she eat the apple from the back? Does it matter? Like, do you have to eat it from the front? Like, it's like little things like that I didn't realize that she was doing to me, which ended up being part of me.
You do to everybody else.
To all the other people, which is why now that I realize it. So my biggest thing that I learned from that part of my life is that point A and point B has a lot of squiggly lines in between. It doesn't matter how you get there as long as you get to the second point. You know what I'm saying? Within guidelines. Within the guidelines.
And I can tell you, between point A and point B, if my spoon is sticking up, I still get anxiety because of CJ. Any chopsticks or spoons or utensils sticking up in your food,
I literally thought he was going to say he gets anxiety because of the dirt spoon.
Not the dirt. No, that's an Asian thing, though.
That is in my life. But I'm talking about just in specific when it comes to spoons sticking up out of food.
You know, my favorite thing that CJ does, you can be like, my favorite color is yellow, and she'll be like, be sure you're actually looking into other colors, and also make sure that you understand why you even like, do you really like the color yellow? Or were you taught to like the color yellow?
Yellow really yellow to you because your perception can definitely change what you really actually think yellow is, because how do you not know that your yellow could be my red?
Exactly.
You don't know.
Did you know that yellow's not even a color? It's actually how the light is prismatically coming. It's like, what the fuck, CJ?
And it's the way the photons bounce off yellow, the frequency of the colors.
We gotta make shirts out of that. Do you know that your yellow could be my red? Facts. I mean, I do that. And so, basically, I'm a brown version of Fraser Crane.
For anybody listening, we tried to be CJ. She just is like that. It's effortless.
It just comes out.
Come in with that honey-ass voice and be like, be sure.
My brain does this thing where I open up other options before I finally, and sometimes that's a really bad thing because sometimes then I can't decide. So when I do see something or learn something or hear about somebody talking about something, I literally go A through P, and I have 10, 15 different options to go from that one path to the next, which is
that's a beautiful thing, but goddamn.
Yes.
It does. So it is really automatic. Like, and it's and here's the thing. Look, what's crazy?
she fell out of frame.
Brandy fell out of the chair, y'all.
Brandy, get back in frame.
I'm gonna have to clip that. Oh my god. No, for real though. So like, I mean, I'm talking. It could be like little crazy, little conversations that aren't even serious. Because I think Brandy sent me like a few pictures of these dresses one time, and I was like, oh, that would be so cute with like these different options of accessories.
Oh my god, yes, she did. She emailed me that. No, and it wasn't. No. We're gonna correct her. She didn't say this will be cute. It was like, well, be sure to wear like bangles and necklaces, and I'm like, bitch, I was sharing. I was sharing. I'm like, first of all, we both love accessories. Like I have like 16 pairs of earrings sitting in front of me right now. Like I'm shit.
I mean, yes. And it's just like, it's an automatic thing for me.
It's
like
automatic. I'm like, you better be glad I know and love you. So, because I know this ain't coming from any other place. Because, baby, I would have had to cut somebody else off. Like, you got one more time to tell me about the shit I know.
I mean, but you know what? This is why I love Rob so much. The other day, I laughed so hard internally because I was trying to open the Pedialyte bottle for my kiddo because she's sick, right? And I couldn't get it. So Rob was going to help me do it. And in my natural occurrences, even though I asked him to help me, he got part of it the way done. And I was getting ready to be like, you should like do this with that. And before I could even get it out my mouth, I think he saw it coming and he was like, step back.
Yes, wow.
I knew that was good.
But also, I was so proud that he did that to me. Like, because it takes a certain type of person to be around me. I realize that. Like, I know. Like, you have to.
I understand.
I understand that my maintenance is not high maintenance in the way most people would think high maintenance. I think I'm like high maintenance in the fact that I want to like explore every single option possible before making decisions, and you know what I mean? Like,
oh no, you do, and then you want everybody else to do it too. So it's like, if I'm thinking about all these options, your ass better be thinking about them too.
And if you don't, it's fine because I will guide you.
Yes.
I will help you get to where you need to go.
No, it's fine.
It's fine.
It's fine.
Totally
I got it.
Maybe I should have been a life coach. Maybe that's what I need to do.
This is so great.
Like, really,
okay.
like
next recording, we'll make fun of stuff that he does. But right now, this just turned into
like seriously, the other day when you tagged me in that meme when like what's his face was like looking over shoulders when he was like when somebody like when somebody talks about vibes, energy, and I was like you were
the first person
like I feel attacked, but it's the truth. Like,
I was like, this is CJ, and I could see her coming around the corner. Like, did you know that when Neptune is like?
No, I remember. So no. I'm gonna take y'all back. I'm gonna take y'all back to about 19 years ago at the Tiki. Okie people, Tiki.
Oh no!
And we were eating Baskin Robbins, and it was we had just had this conversation about the spoon, laying the spoon down. So this is my first time actually being out with CJ and the crew, and I thought,
oh my god,
cool,
I don't even
like
remember this. See, you guys remember stories that I can't even remember.
Yeah. Because it was so insignificant to you, because this is just your nature. But to me, I was like, what the fuck? So it was,
you traumatized us, CJ. Be proud.
So it was me, you, Chris, Rashid, and Jerome.
That sounds about right. Yep.
At the Tiki after practice one day. Brandy was grounded, so she had to be back home. She had to sneak back in her window somehow.
Accurate.
Brandy had to sneak back in the house and act like she was never with us in the first place.
Sneak out the dance practice.
Oh my god! But
she's making deals with her brother, like, yo, you never saw me.
Yup. Yup.
Both of y'all was grounded, and both of y'all was just out.
Doing
roaming the fucking island. Sneaking back in the house at the same time. We were at the Tiki, and I remember we got into a conversation about eating fish, like the whole fish. And I was like, not doing the whole thing. And you were like, no, you don't understand. You should eat the eyes because the eyes is really good. You told me it's really good for your body. And I was like, how is it good for my body, CJ? and you went in depth. So the Hawaiian fish eyes were good for my body. And as she's explaining it to me, I have my ice cream in a little cup, and she lays my spoon down, just like this, as she's telling me why I should eat fish eyes and why it's good for my fucking body. Shit's crazy. I was like, wow, that's the moment I knew. And I was 14 years old, and I was like,
well, okay, so
because.
So in most Asian countries, you don't stick up your utensils and your food because that's how they give food to the dead.
If you didn't see that moment on YouTube, you need to watch us, fast forward to it, because that was the fucking thing.
Oh my God, I'm so glad I didn't put on too much makeup today because I would have had raccoon eyes from laughing so hard. Holy
shit. That was so
okay,
funny.
So, oh my God, I'm going to ask Rob. I'm going to be like, Rob, am I Frasier thing? Because
baby.
By the way, that show is coming back and I'm super excited.
I heard about that. I did hear about that.
But no, okay, so I don't know. You know how people mansplain? Maybe that should be my thing, right?
CJ explain?
CJ explain.
She definitely CJ explains it all.
Yes.
I've been told you.
You have been saying that. Maybe.
Nah.
Oh my God. But you know what? I don't even realize that I'm doing it.
Way cool.
No.
Nah.
God. Why was that show a thing? I don't even know.
Why was she dressed like a hooker?
Do you know how problematic that show would be now?
Oh, dude.
The level.
Let's talk about
the dude coming in through her window. She was dressed like a hooker in the theme song.
Yes.
She had on tights with the fishnets and the.
Now what we're not going to do is slut shame her bomb ass outfit because the outfit is cute.
She did know how to dress it. I like the fact that she liked salt and pepper. I was like, Jesus.
And then she would but she would always wear some big ass jean jacket or some shit over it.
Go over it.
It was very 90s and cute. She was on brand.
She did her shit.
But you know what? Content from that era, you just can't take it out of the era because everything is incorrect politically right now. If you took anything, even just Frasier in general, Friends.
Yeah.
I think.
Baby, it's cold outside. You hear about that shit?
Oh,
how they redid the lyrics?
I was like, what the fuck?
People are going too
I'm not gonna lie, I didn't think it was that serious. I'm like,
I didn't either. I
feel like we have bigger fish to fry, but go ahead and redo the little song.
Go ahead, even though people are getting shot and stuff. But go ahead. But no, okay. Oh, I'm done tearing up and crying. Fish eyes.
Explain.
My fish eyes. Fish.
Look, in conclusion of this episode, fish eyes.
Fish eyes have
DHA
in them, which is really good for brain function. So, and it's a concentrated portion inside of the eye instead of everywhere else in the fish. So if you eat
this too, to let you know. I know.
Oh my God! So. Even though I quit retail, Rob says that I do this a lot, and he called it my manager hand. My snake hand. That's what he called it.
That's what she be doing.
So terrible, But see, here's the thing, guys. And if you're listening or watching, here's the thing, okay? They make fun of me, but they know it's out of love, and it comes from a beautiful place inside of my golden heart.
And did you see it blossom?
And it blossoms.
It went from this, and it blossomed into.
Or we have some weird Stockholm syndrome and we're just fucked up and we don't know how to leave. Or that wasn't an option, was it?
Not don't know how to leave. Well, damn.
Or that's one or the other. How do we know this isn't a toxic relationship? How do we know CJ's even a real person?
Wait, first of all,
started out when CJ learned how to play the koto when she was 6.
Actually,
ding, 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 ding,
I was 8. I was 8.
And it was in that moment.
I know you just made that up, but I do know how to play the koto a little bit.
Of course you know how to play it.
I played it for my elementary school's Japanese festival day with my teacher. As a matter of fact, Miss Higa taught me. Fuck, I just remember.
Higa sensei,
she was in my elementary school culture teacher. And then, and so when I got to high school, she was there again. I was like, what is happening? Like, do you have a twin?
Booze, we're going to have to wrap this up because I just saw it was 1:45 here.
Ooh, girl.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, we need let's stop picking on CJ and wrap this shit up.
Okay, sorry.
This is great. It's well worth going over time.
Oh, my gosh.
Well, I tell you what.
my throat's going to be hurting later. All this laughing. Anywho, I still feel like I would like to hear a lot more Thanksgiving or holiday clapback from our viewers and listeners. If that's cool, you can like DM us or send us emails and whatever you want to do, or just even comment under one of our pictures. We definitely check all of them. Somebody will like get back to you for sure, like between one of us. So if you're listening to us, if you're listening to us on one of your podcast platforms, if you're new here or keep coming back or whatever, subscribe. If you're on YouTube, like, comment, hit that notification bell so you can keep getting our new episodes, which drop every Thursday at noon Central Time. Next week is going to be about the truth on Thanksgiving. So it's going to get into the nitty-gritty, a little bit of history, and I'm sure we'll have some racially fueled discussions about that. So stay tuned. Shut up. I hate you so much. Oh my God. I can't wait.
You've been warned.
Hey, you've been warned, and it's not
safe.
You've
definitely been warned, because shit.
Oh my God. So anywho, we going to bed. I'm sick. We tired. We sleepy. D probably about to go to the store and get something. So
D's gonna make some greens.
I'm about to get a patty pie from Walmart while you're bullshitting.
Told you.
For no reason.
He's always on the go. Always.
By my goddamn self.
By my goddamn self. For real.
For real. Hey.
See what I mean? A black church, black picnic. Okay. Anyway, we gonna go now. You can catch us next week on the Triangle.
Catch us outside.
Be blessed. See you later. Bye.